can't tell me nothing. That's why when they be talking tough, I said, man, just say it. I done seen all that. Nigga said he want to just go home.
Oh, shit.
His blanket. You're like, what?
What are you there for security?
You're never going to be in this position.
I just want to go home and
I just want to be under my blanket. Oh, we got to get out of here. Y'all, you get me out of here. I'm never fooling with these niggas.
These clowns out here was going to go out there and make videos.
I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Mace, say names.
You're a security crime behind the car.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third. What are you there for security? What you think I'm going to be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't want to know.
Things just took a wild turn in hip-hop, and fans are seriously shaken. Gene Deal, the former bodyguard who used to roll with Diddy back in the Untamed Bad Boy Records era, just dropped a message that has the streets buzzing, and this time, it's aimed straight at Maze and Camron. Yeah, the Harlem legends behind the viral talk show It Is What It Is. But here's the thing, Gene's post wasn't some casual social media rant. It felt more like a warning, the kind you hear right before something major goes down. Viewers are saying they've never seen Gene speak with that kind of fire before. It all popped off after a clip from It Is What It Is started trending online. In it, Maze and Cam were cracking jokes about the old school rap scene, name-dropping Diddy, Gene Deal, and the whole bad boy era like it was just a punchline. They joked about shady contracts, street whispers, and how some folks are still too scared to speak on Diddy's name. The crowd laughed, but the mood wasn't all jokes. Not for people who actually lived that history. Especially not for Gene Deal.
Picture your face reaction to I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If my security holding me down in Cali, is somebody, the #1 rapper in the world, can kill you. So I'm telling you, I just need to want to go home. And the second top artist in the world, which is Mace, about to be #1. That's what I'm saying. I wonder his face because I'm like, if y'all let me do that to Big, I don't stand a chance.
See, Gene ain't just some random dude running his mouth online. He's been in the trenches. This man was there when some of the darkest and most mysterious events in hip-hop went down. He has spoken publicly about the Tupac and Biggie murders, Diddy's private world, the twisted price of fame behind the bad boy empire, so when he saw Maze and Cam clowning around about it, you could tell he took that personally. Real personally. A few nights later, Gene hopped on a live stream, face tight, eyes locked on the camera, tone cold and serious. He said, "Y'all think this a game?"
Content creators who went out there and they start running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mace and Camron, made suggestions to bad boy security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being bad boy security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 niggas out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third. You already know, Mace.
Hey, if you gonna say something, be man and motherfucking enough to name the name. When I tell a motherfucking story, Rex, I tell it with the name.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral.
The streets ain't forgotten nothing. Tell them boys to move careful. This industry eats people alive, especially ones who think they're untouchable. That statement hit like a bomb. The internet lit up instantly. People didn't know if Gene was warning Maze and Cam for their safety, or threatening them outright. His words were cryptic, but carried that street energy that made everyone lean in like, wait, what did he just say?
You doing all that stuff to Gene Deal. What do Gene Deal supposed to be doing while you doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. What you think I'm going to be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? They can play if they want to, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. I never had to tell Big them shit. Keep it a buck. I never had to tell Big them shit. I told Big, to his face, if you go to this party tonight, one of y'all gonna die. Some people gonna die if you go to this party tonight.
Within hours, blogs were spinning headlines like Gene Deal sends chilling message to Maze and Cameron, and former Diddy bodyguard issues dark warning. Fans flooded the comments debating whether Gene was protecting the code of the streets, or if this was a signal that something deeper was brewing behind the scenes. Either way, one thing was clear: Gene Deal didn't just speak. He shook the room. Stop talking before it's too late. That's the message that had the whole hip-hop community frozen. The energy around the situation turned dark real quick, almost like the ghosts of the bad boy era were back, haunting anybody bold enough to speak on it.
I want to say something, Mace. Tell us why you didn't go. Mace, why you didn't go to the party? Mace, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to be
So Mace, who told you? Mace, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mace. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Mace.
Fans filled comment sections saying things like, he knows something we don't. This ain't advice. This a warning. It felt heavy. Like Gene wasn't just talking. He was sending a message. And just when everyone thought he'd cool off, Gene doubled down later that same night. He looked straight into the camera and said, them Harlem boys need to chill before they end up in the same stories they laughing about.
Let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mace, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the fuck is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Mace? That's some
That line sent chills through everyone watching. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't threatening. His voice was steady, almost too calm, and that's what made it terrifying. Then he added, if you're gonna say something, be a man about it. When that clip hit social media, chaos erupted. Fans started tagging Maze and Cam non-stop, demanding a response. At first, they brushed it off. On the next episode of It Is What It Is, they laughed it up. Cam joked, man, Gene acting like we in a mob movie. Maze fired back, if we gotta watch our backs for talking, we already famous then.
Tell with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask a question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer came.
The crowd laughed, but online nobody thought it was funny. Fans felt the tension rising. Something about this didn't feel like jokes anymore. Gene saw Maze and Cam's playful response, and that's when he snapped. He went live again and didn't sugarcoat anything. You Harlem boys always playing, he said, frustration all over his face. You think because you on camera, nothing can happen to you? Cameras don't save people. Ask the ones who ain't here no more. The chat went silent. Then Gene took it further. He started talking about how back in the 90s, people used to vanish for saying the wrong thing. He hinted that the industry still has secrets, and some of those secrets can get people touched. The internet went crazy. This wasn't entertainment anymore. This was someone who saw real things speaking from experience. And when Gene Deal talks, people listen. This is the same man who says he witnessed events tied to Biggie's death, and that he's still being watched because of what he knows. He once said, the truth got bodies attached to it. And that line explains everything.
So he was trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, so Gene, why you didn't shoot Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. And he knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big Nim. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mace knew the whole situation.
Fans immediately went into detective mode, digging up interviews, rewatching old clips, connecting dots between Gene's comments and Maze's history with Diddy. Maze and Diddy go way back. Bad contracts, missing royalties, silence, comeback, calling Diddy out publicly. It's been messy for years. And now Gene stepping in. It felt dangerous, not just emotional. Even Cameron, who always jokes, started looking less comfortable when fans kept tagging him under Gene's videos.
Knew that it's no way possible that I was able, being sideways in the car, because Puff, when I got in the car, Puff had put his seat back. Now I'm sideways in the car like this, and I'm cussing him out like, yo, man, what the f is you doing? Why you got your seat back like this? We hear the shot, pow! Puff put his head down. I go to open the door. Kenny flies, going straight. So he knew the whole story. What I supposed to do? Put my gun out the window and just start shooting like this? When the car had already turned the corner, it came out of parking space. So he knew the story, bruh. He was trying to just divert the attention of, well, why security? So ask security. Ask Big Security. Ask Paul. Ask the LAPD. The LAPD officer that was right there. They was right behind. Paul was outside the car. Why didn't they shoot? Why when we turn back around and come down the street, that they way down the block, they coming back when we get back to the car. When we get back to the car, nobody's in Big's car. But Big, Mace knew this.
You could see it in the energy. The laughs got shorter. The smiles didn't hit the same. Then Cam finally addressed it. We not scared, but we not dumb either. We from Harlem. We know what time it is. That one line told everyone, this is not YouTube gossip anymore. This is real pressure between men who lived hip-hop's darkest chapters, and men who are joking about them now. And Gene Deal, he wasn't backing down at all.
Mace had this conversation. Him and Tone is like this. He knew me and Tone jumped in the car and chased after the guy. We couldn't catch him. He wanted to divert the attention from himself because why didn't you tell Big that these dudes was trying to get at you, bruh? You had that conversation with with Puff, but you ain't had that conversation with Big. Big was your label mate. So people come on to him, why you ain't shoot? Listen to me, bro. At that time, I was young, dumb, and full of cum. Anybody who really knows me know that they ain't got to worry about nothing if it comes to the point where gunplay has to be a part of my security. I'm not going to hesitate because I never bodyguard anybody that I wasn't willing to lay down my life for.
He fired back with another message saying, these new media dudes don't know what kind of doors they opening. They laughing, but them jokes come with curses. That quote exploded online again, spreading across blogs, Twitter, and YouTube. Suddenly, people weren't just entertained, they were spooked. The vibe shifted. It didn't sound like Gene was trying to beef. It sounded like he was genuinely warning them from experience. By this point, everyone in hip-hop media had something to say. Podcasts were breaking it down frame by frame. Reaction channels were running wild. Even rappers started chiming in. Some said Gene was being overly dramatic. Others swore he was right on the money. One influencer tweeted, Gene Deal might sound paranoid, but history proves he ain't lying. And that tweet went viral, because deep down, fans know hip-hop's got a dark past. From unsolved murders to silent cover-ups, too many people who spoke a little too loud ended up disappearing or going quiet. So when Gene says to move careful, people don't take it lightly anymore. It's not just words, it's survival in an industry where secrets can still cost lives. Gene's warning didn't come out of nowhere. It does, but the way he said it made everything feel personal, almost haunting. In another video, he stared dead into the camera and said, Maze, you know I'm not lying. You was there. You saw what happened when certain people crossed that man. The second he said, that man, everybody froze, because we all knew who he meant. Fans instantly assumed he was talking about Diddy. Gene's voice even cracked a little when he said it, like he was reliving a memory he tried to bury. That moment right there flipped the whole vibe. This wasn't beef anymore. This was about survival. Comments started flooding in. People said he wasn't threatening them, he was reminding them. And history repeats itself if you don't move right. It hit even harder for Maze since he's been one of the loudest voices calling out Diddy's alleged shady business for years. Remember when Maze did that fiery interview last year talking about freeing the souls of artists trapped in bad contracts? Yeah, that's exactly what Gene was referring to. Gene responded with one chilling line that had everybody shook. The people who talk about freeing souls usually end up losing theirs. That line spread across social media like wildfire. It didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like experience, like pain from someone who's seen people pay the ultimate price for running their mouth in the wrong room. Meanwhile, Cam tried to keep things light, cracking jokes and laughing it off on their next show. But you could see it. The tension was there. During one episode he said, "I love Gene, but I don't like when old heads make things sound spooky. We comedians with mics, not gangsters with guns." The audience laughed, but the energy felt off. Fans online noticed it too. Fewer jokes. More pauses. More side-eyes between Cam and Maze. Even Maze, who usually jokes the hardest, seemed quieter, like he was double-checking every word before saying it. Social media went into full debate mode. Some believed Gene was genuinely trying to protect them, like an OG warning younger cats not to play with certain names. Others swore Gene was acting as a messenger for someone powerful who didn't want to speak publicly. "This sounds like a warning straight from Diddy's camp," one user tweeted. Another replied, "Nah, Gene's protecting them before the game eats them up too." The opinions were split, but the fear was mutual. Gene Deal isn't just some gossip blogger chasing clicks. He's a man who's seen real violence. He was there when hip-hop's darkest secrets were being written in blood. This isn't your usual celebrity drama that fades in a week. This is about legacy, power, and silence. His message was clear. Behind the viral laughs and YouTube jokes, there's real danger in speaking on certain people, especially when those same people built empires off secrets nobody's supposed to repeat. And guess what? Gene still hasn't backed down. On his podcast, he said, "They can laugh if they want, but I sleep good knowing I warned them. The same people they joke about still got pull. I don't want to see no young brothers become martyrs for clout." That line hit deep. Maybe Gene's not trying to scare them. Maybe he's trying to save them. Either way, the message was loud and clear. This isn't a game. And those Harlem boys better tread carefully, because when the past starts knocking, it doesn't always knock twice. As Gene's word spread, people started digging again. Old interviews, old footage, old rumors from the bad boy era. Suddenly, fans were connecting dots that might have been better left alone. One resurfaced clip showed Gene years ago saying, "The things I've seen, I wish I could unsee." That line started trending, because now it all fits. Even industry insiders began speaking up. One producer said on a live stream, "Gene ain't crazy. He just seen too much." Meanwhile, Maze and Cam noticeably pulled back from mentioning Diddy on the show. That silence spoke louder than any joke. And now, the whole "it is what it is" show feels different. The laughs are tighter. The pauses are longer. The vibe is heavy. Everyone's watching to see what happens next. Will Maze and Cam clap back? Or will they fall back and let the smoke clear? Because at this point, it's not just content. It's power. Gene's message stands. You can joke. You can talk. But there's a line in hip-hop that should never be crossed. Cross it, and old ghosts start waking up. Bad boy era ghosts. And those ghosts never really left. So tell me, was Gene protecting them or putting them on notice? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like, I can now.